What's up, people? It's another edition of the New Breed Podcast, the world's best new metal adjacent quasi new metal podcast. Two dudes who were there. We were old enough. I'm one half of your hosting to Jay Horsecow. With me, I have my partner in crime, the notorious TIM, team manager Junior. Tim, how is it going?
Awesome.
What are you drinking, Tim? Before we get started,
Vodka and orange seltzer.
I am drinking Cutwater's LIT in a can, Long Island iced tea with vodka, rum, gin, and tequila. And these bad
Nice.
boys are 13% a pop.
Holy
So
shit.
two of these, and it's like, cheers, cilantro. So here's mud in your eye. So
Dude, 13% for one can is ridiculous.
yeah, it's kind of nuts. I didn't realize they were as strong as they were. Their Mai Tai cans are like 17.
Ooh.
I was one summer, I was sitting outside drinking them and trying to read a book. And I was on like number two, number three, whatever. The wife was away. I was here by myself. All of a sudden, the words on my book start going, and I'm like, what is going? Oh, I was flap hammered. All right, so what are we talking about this week? So the title of this week's episode is From Cash to Trash. So we have a lot of favorite bands. I'm sure you all do too. There are a lot of times where a band will go from releasing an album that's pretty damn good, shows promise, you really like it. Okay, great. This band is awesome. They're established, great. And then for whatever reason, they follow it up with an absolute polished turd. So this week we're going to talk about our examples of cash to trash. Tim and I's different feelings on. Let's talk about bands and albums where first one was great, second one was great, whatever. The precursor was amazing, and then we don't know what happened. Everybody had a lobotomy or had sex in front of a microwave, and they end up with the disaster that is the second album. So I'm gonna start us off with an example, Tim, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man.
First example I'm gonna give. Relevant because Hellfest was last weekend. New England straight edge hardcore band Embrace Today on
Mm,
Deathwish.
okay.
They had a couple of EPs, Fuck You, I'm Edge. A couple. They had, I think, a full length on some other smaller label. They released Soldiers on Deathwish, and it is a monster. It's 2 minute straight edge anthems. His vocals are just shredding and piercing, and they were moving. They were moving. Every song is 2 minutes, minute and a half. I love that hardcore, right? Shout out to the Orthodox guys who somehow read that memo, and this album is all short songs. But this thing moves every song. Great. They were fun live. I saw them with I think it was Martyr AD, Evergreen Terrace, and like Redcorn, I think, or
Probably.
one of those tours in the church. Awesome band, awesome band. Really stoked. Fast forward, and they released "We Are the Enemy," and I swore it was a different band. I thought, like, what happened? What happened? Uh, all the really fast double time, two steppy parts kind of gone. He tries to scream in key a la Jamie Josta, and no
Oh,
offense, it really
God.
didn't work. Um, this was one of those albums that I was stoked for because I love the first one. Like, you got to do shit, get shit done with yard work, right? Exercise in the gym. You put on Soldiers, you're throwing weight around, right? You're winging the fucking weed whacker around. The second one was just why was he trying to sing a key? I don't know what happened. I don't know if the label got messed with them. I don't know, whatever. They broke up soon afterwards. They just did a reunion set at Hellfira. Hope it was good. But this was my example of cash to trash, where you have a one album that's really great, shows promise, is awesome. And again, this is subjective, so maybe people really like that second album. God bless you. And then the second one was just trash. It was garbage.
I don't remember what that second one sounds like, honestly.
You are a better man for it. You're a better
I
man for it. It
I'm
is not
very
good.
I'm very, very familiar with the band and them other records. I just don't remember that record.
It was not good. It was not good.
I'm gonna have to listen to that tomorrow now.
There's one song where I sing me a lullaby, like he's trying to scream in key, and it just and with the chorus it just didn't work. It just didn't.
Ugh.
Okay, Tim, what do you got? Give me one of yours.
I honestly, right now, cannot think of any because I just didn't have the time. So we're gonna go with your list.
Okay, I got a couple more. I got a couple more. So I'm gonna go to a more mainstream band, right? I don't want to do this hot take. I'll get to the super hot takes later. But here's an example, right? Metallica,
Okay.
and I'm going to the cash side, and I say this, you're gonna laugh. Load and Reload.
Oh yeah.
So I take these are the cash albums because when you go from And Justice for All to the Black Album, this is them saying, okay, we're kind of leaving behind our thrash roots. We're making a very, very loud, aggressive rock music, right? Black Album is, by the way, after the concert, I have gone back and listened to that album at least once a week since I saw them.
That's a great
It's
record.
it's a great record. It is. It's a great record. Indisputable. Indisputable. So they follow up. They follow up the Black Album with Load, and everybody was like hoping, oh, maybe this will be them going back to going fast. Maybe this will be them going back to speed, like going back to more thrash. No, they really leaned into the guy liner and Versace jeans, and everybody's playing a Les Paul.
Yeah,
Now, there are some catchy as fuck tracks on Load and Reload. The Memory Remains, right? King
that is a good
Nothing.
track.
There are some good songs. There are some songs that when they played it in concert, I would, even though I'm like, oh God, I've heard the song 8,000 times, I hate it. I was singing along. I was singing along. So I'm gonna say that's the cash. The trash, ladies and gentlemen, Saint Anger. Not for the reasons everybody's gonna think. I actually don't think it's a bad album. There are some pretty good songs on an album, right? Um, Frantic, Saint Anger, All Within My Hands. Like there's some good songs on that album. However, um, no solos. You could tell they were trying to do something different. And I actually came across a Kurt Hammett. It was like a behind the scenes video where he actually said, and it might have been in some kind of monster. I try to remove that movie from my memory, where he talked about if we don't do solos, it is always going to place this album at a particular point in time, and it will always be stuck to this point in time. And I don't remember if that was in the movie, but I remember I recently came across that clip, and I thought to myself, he's right, because it instantaneously puts Saint Anger in a time and in a place.
Yeah.
And I would ask everybody to go back and listen to it. It's not as bad as everyone remembers it. The although I did, Tim, did I send you the video where it's the beginning of Saint Anger, but every of one of Lars's snare hits is the Taco Bell bell?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant. But Cash was Load and Reload, right? They were going more radio friendly. They were going more commercial. Great, fine, do your thing. But then they went to no solos, 7-minute songs, quasi new metal influences. Lars, what the fuck are you doing banging on the keg with the baseball bat? Cash, trash. Now, would you agree, Tim, or would you pick like, I was on the fence. Like, do I go from Injustice for All to the Black Album?
No, no, absolutely not. Because in my opinion, I think the Black Album is their best record. And I've said that before, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But people probably listen to this and go, "What a fucking asshole." But like, you're definitely right with the pick you made. One thing about Saint Anger, because I have listened to that record, I swear I feel like they like got to this age where they were like, we need to be with the trendy crowd and put out this record with the high snare fucking
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like it just didn't work. And then they come. What did they put out after? Was it Death
Death
Magnetic?
Magnetic, yeah.
Which I always hear people say is like an incredible record. Is that their newest one?
No, their newest one is M72 Seasons, I think it
That's right.
is.
That's right. I forgot they put out that one too.
But yeah, I thought the newest one isn't bad, but yeah, I hated Load when it came out. I hated it because it was
I
more of the rock stuff.
But I think people come back to that record and them records and they like them now. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about that. Like, oh, you know what? These two records aren't bad at all. And you are right about Load. That does have some bangers on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, how are you gonna get mad at it, right?
I did. Now that we're talking, and I was thinking because I know during when you're talking about Metallica, I kind of looked like I was spacing off, but I was actually thinking, and I'm going to tell you what my pick is for this one, and I
Okay,
know you're going to agree with it. So we're going to go to Deftones.
okay,
They put out Koi no Yokan,
okay.
and then which is an incredible fucking record.
Yeah,
Let's be honest here. Every fucking song on that record's great. Then they put out Gore, and it was just like, what the
I didn't have
fuck?
that on my list, but you are completely right. That
Yeah,
was, I mean, I've always thought Tim Diamond Eyes was their quote unquote comeback
yeah,
in the sense of I really like Saturday Night Wrist, but when you listen to
love it.
Chino talk about it, you realize that that was a really dark time in that band's history, and I think that, I mean, he was talking about how he was like writing lyrics in a closet while doing hits of meth. Like they were out of their minds. Um, but this is a great call out because Gore came out of left field and it was what?
Yeah, so it was Coy came out in 12, Gore comes out in 16. You wait fucking 4.5 years probably. The first few songs are great, but it takes a fucking nosedive,
Is
dude.
this the one, Tim, that I remember correctly? They wrote a lot without Stefan.
Yeah, basically what I heard was that Chino wrote most of it, and Stefan wasn't even really happy with most of it. And yeah,
Yeah, he played on it, but he was not a fan.
it's
Yeah.
like it's a Chino record, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, because I love that. Don't get me wrong, I've came around to the record a little bit, but
Okay.
god damn, was it a flop? That's cash to trash right there.
Yeah, I
And
think that's a yeah.
I think most Deftones fans would agree with that in a sense where it's like, yeah, that was not really what I was looking for. Like some of them later tracks are just like, what the fuck is this shit? Don't get me
Mm,
wrong, like Ohms is a
it's
great
bad.
record, but like that has some fucking weird tracks too.
Hmm. Well, you saw that they kind of accidentally announced that they have the new one coming out in August.
That's what I heard. I heard there's a new track coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, they accidentally like threw something on screen where it talked about, or somebody was interviewed and saying, "Yeah, I heard the new stuff. It's coming out in August. It's pretty good."
Oh yeah, it was fucking there it was on set it was on what's his name's podcast from Cypress Hill. The dude from Everlast was on there talking. He's like, yeah, because
Mm.
Stefan's on that podcast all the time. And he was like, yeah, the tracks I heard today are fucking amazing. You guys are
Yeah,
going to
you're
be,
right. You're right.
there's a new track coming this couple in the next week, which would mean tomorrow or Friday.
Right.
And he's like, album's out in August. You guys are going to love it. And like, they started posting teasers on their socials of like screen caps of a video. They did it yesterday and today. Literally before I came on here, I seen more screen caps, and people are like,
Huh.
dude, just release the fucking track.
Yeah. Seriously.
So we might be getting it tomorrow. We might be. I mean, Friday. I'm cool with Friday, but
Huh?
works
That
for
is a
me.
great on the spot pick, and you're 100% spot on. What a dud. Um,
Definite dud.
so
I'm trying to think of more here.
I'm gonna stay in the new metal lane. This is probably gonna be a spicy pick. The band Slipknot,
Oh, okay. I already
Cash.
let me guess this one.
Okay.
Iowa's the Cash.
Yes.
Trash is Volume 3.
Yes. Yes.
100%. That record is fucking garbage.
So I mean, Tim and I, we were contemporaries at that point. We were younger when that was the thing. Uh, Self-titled comes out and it reinvents the world. It reinvents music, and there was no denying that. They went from opening for fucking Cold Chamber to a headline run with Biohazard to headlining Tattoo the Earth. Like it just they were on a trajectory, and they admitted that with the second album, it was like, oh, you want some more? You think we're aggressive? Well, no, this is aggressive, and they doubled down on it. And I mean, there was stuff like Left Behind. There was some inklings of what was coming, but the Iowa is just, it's a monster. It's a monster of an album.
It's a
And
devastating record.
and then there's this gap between Iowa and Volume 3. And Murder Dolls happens, and Stone Sour happens, and there was the other side project that happens. And they all come together and they do Volume 3, the subliminal verses. And when the intro kicks in and it's Corey Taylor singing, you know, like, oh boy, we're in trouble. And this was them trying to, I don't know, work it out emotionally, coming off the gas. I mean, there's some blast beats in certain parts. There's some parts of it, but it was for the machine that was the self-titled. And then the just complete and utter over aggressive nature of Iowa to totally swing it back and go into the more mellow stuff of volume 3, the subliminal verses. I think this is trash, like straight trash.
Yeah, don't you always say that Stone Sour ruined Slipknot?
Stone Sour ruined Slipknot because you can hear the Stone Sour influences in Slipknot. Um, and I would actually argue they go back to Cash with All Hope Is Gone. I will
Yeah.
actually argue that. Now, in hindsight, we know that the band that was really written by Joey and Paul. Joey Paul with Mick. The other four Yabos, it was Sid, Jim, Sean, and Corey were off doing that other album, which is eventually, I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day. It's more like fucking Radiohead. But that Dave Fortman interview, he talks about it, how this was them leaning into the aggression. Some of the gematria and some of the other stuff was really heavy. And if you go back and listen to it, it's actually a really good album. My thing at that point was I was so pissed off from Volume 3, I didn't even check out All Hope Is Gone. And I would argue that this is the last gasp of the super aggressive Slipknot that we knew. Not soon after Joey leaves the band, Paul passes, and Paul and Joey were the ones who were the heavy music fans. They were the like when you read interviews and listen to the conversations and listen to interviews and read some stuff, you see that they were the two guys that were most interested in really heavy shit. Like that was them. So when Paul goes and Joey goes, it's no surprise that they never got back to the heaviness that they once had.
Well, wasn't there a rumor, or did you just say this, that like when they were doing that one record, like Corey and the other guys are writing a record in the other room, and then Joey
Yeah,
and are writing a record in the main room, and it's like, what the fuck is going
yeah.
on here?
There was a different studio on the property that Jim, Corey, Sean, and Sid were messing around, and they came in at the ass end and kind of put their pieces together, which is funny because the band will say that on margin, the band says they really hate that album, and yet Corey Taylor says it's his favorite. They also
Because he
blame
probably had the most to do with it.
well, they also blame Dave Fortman as a producer, and they say, well, it's his problem that he couldn't bring 9 guys together. But if conversely, if you look at the story behind Iowa, they hated Rick. Volume 3, they hated Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
They said he was in the studio like 3 times. So my
I've heard that a lot about him. Like he would just come in like whenever the fuck he
it's kind of
felt
like a
like it.
Svengali type dude. So I mean, Iowa is definitely cash. Volume 3 is trash. All Hope Is Gone is back to cash, and then Paul and Joey are gone, and we get what we get. And I haven't really, honestly, I haven't given it a serious listen since.
I got a good one for you that I think you'll agree with.
Okay,
I don't agree with this one, but I think that you're going to agree with this. Bury Your Dead, 2008. They put out the
okay,
self-titled Bury Your Dead. Has
okay.
tracks, Sympathy Orchestra, Fever Dream, all that kind of shit. Banging record, right? Then they put out It's Nothing Personal. And to you, that is definitely a cash to trash, because It's Nothing Personal is when it's got the new singer, the dude who is in Volumes. It's all the singing songs on it. It's like they're straight new metal records.
See, I might actually back it up and say Cash was Cover Your Tracks and Trash was self-titled.
Well, Beauty and the Breakdown was after Cover
Oh,
Your
that's what I
Tracks.
mean. Cash is Beauty and the Breakdown because it was Cover Your Tracks, Beauty and the Breakdown, self-titled, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like the self-titled album.
Really?
No, I didn't like it.
Wow.
Even though it was Matt Russo, I didn't like it.
Wow.
It's a good call though. It's a good call. Could we go with Alive or Just Breathing into the End of Heartache? Cash and Trash? Would you, is it a strong, how strong of a statement is it, Tim, to call the End of Heartache trash?
It's funny. I will agree with that because Alive or Just Breathing is just a fucking phenomenal record.
It's so good. It's hard to, yeah, it's near impossible to follow that up.
Don't get me wrong. End of Heartache has great songs on it, but Jesus Christ, like I just don't like Howard in that band at all.
I like Howard's vocals. I thought he was great in
Like Blood Has Been
Blood
Shed
Has
and
Been
stuff.
Shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I got another one for you. This probably isn't controversial. Mm, Machine Head.
Oh.
The Cash is the Burning Red,
Oh
and
yeah.
even that, it's kind of the trash is everyone's favorite Supercharger. Shout out
Oh
to
my
John
lord.
Detox who came in and deep dove with us on this album. Um, just not good. Just
Not good at all.
they amplified a trend, and it was just oh god. And
You just kept going. You just took it too far.
yeah, you leaned a little bit to quote Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. You went full retard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing though, Machine Head redeems themselves with the blackening. Right, it was the blackening right after, right, or in the something of ashes, right?
Yeah, it was the Ashes record.
It's the
Yeah, you're
long,
right.
it's the long title. What was the name of that?
Yeah, you're right. The Blackening was after that.
Through the Ashes of Empires. Yes, that was them going back more to form. You got to give Rob Flynn credit. He knows when to he knows when to cut bait on a particular trend and move along. But
I
yeah,
thought
that
Through the Ashes was like a mixture of like more things change and the blackening. Like they kind of like you knew where they
yes,
were going with it, but they kind of went
yes,
back a little bit. I fucking absolutely love that record.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
a
not
fucking
bad.
great record.
It's not bad.
That opening track is so fucking good.
And I think that's when he started playing a baritone guitar, right?
Is it?
I think so. I think it was that. It was no, it was the blackening he starts with the baritone guitar. But I mean, yeah, shout out to fucking Machine Head for that's it's a hell of a recursion return to a career. So here's an obscure one. This might be a Jay special, but this is an obscure one. Um, I hear dogs making noise. The Cash is Virginia Beach hardcore band, Bloody Sunday.
Okay.
They're signed to Strike First, which is an imprint of Face Down. They put out They Attack at Dawn. This album is great. This
Great
album
record.
is great. The Curse, Friend Was Your Name, Through His Blood, and then The Stand. So this is Christian straight edge hardcore, basically.
Loved it.
This album was great. The singer was great. I listened to this way more than I probably should admit. So they put this out 2003. It's a good hardcore album, right? They play Face Down Fest, the whole nine. The next album comes out on the actual Face Down imprint, and it's To Sentence the Dead, and it's 2 years later, in 2005. This album was god awful,
I would agree
and
100%.
I'm the this to me. If someone said to me, Jay, give me an example of a band where you switch the singer and it just doesn't work, this album. Now, granted, I would love Joe Hardcore to go ham for This Is Hardcore and like get a Bloody Sunday reunion set, a Looking Forward reunion set, a Shockwave reunion set, Cast Aside, right? All that straight edge type stuff. This that if they played To Sentence of Dead, I'd be like, eh. I think the lead singer left and the bassist took over, and it just was not good. It was just not good. This is one of
It's
those albums
never
that
good when that happens.
I bought it and I went, again, is this the same band?
That
Not,
happened a lot in the early 2000s, dude. There'd be like bands that put out like that. Like we could probably, if we actually sat down and looked through a bunch of bands from back then, we could be like, oh yeah, there you go. Because as soon as like a band lost a member like that, like especially a singer, like it completely changes. Like think if fucking Adam leaves Orthodox, that band would be
yeah,
completely different.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just like, and that always happened in hardcore metalcore back then. Like, people would even say that about Misery singles. Like when fucking what's his name leaves and Carl comes in, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? But I
yeah.
actually think Mirrors is an
The
incredible
Carl
record.
albums had there were some good tracks on some of those albums. There really, really were. Uh, I just think a singer is probably more hard to replace than anything,
Oh my god, yeah.
except for certain genres like brutal death metal and deathcore, where if you're just doing, excuse me, pig squeals and gurgles,
They all sound the same, yeah.
yeah, at a certain point they all sound the same. All right, my Tim, would you say Cash to Trash could be LinkedIn, Limp Biscuit, Chocolate Starfish to Results May Vary?
Mm.
See, I like some of the songs on Results May Vary, but as a whole, it's not good.
I listened to that record, Cutting the Lawn, not too long ago, and I was not impressed at all.
Which one? Results May Vary?
Yeah, I was not impressed.
Mm.
I really wasn't impressed with most of that later stuff. I mean, the latest one is actually decent, but I was not impressed with any of that stuff, honestly. Like after significant, after, no, not after significant. After the one after that, what's that one called again?
Hot dog, Chocolate
Yeah.
Starfish.
After that one, I was not impressed with any of that stuff. I kind of feel like they phoned a lot of that shit in, and that's why they kind of went into obscurity for a little bit.
Well, I also think West Leaving was big,
Yeah,
right? So West
absolutely.
Leaves, they do Results May Vary, which I would say that there's a couple of good tracks on it. Couple. Um, Shout out to Ashes Like Rain. Um, he came on and we talked about this album. That was his first experience at LinkedIn with LinkedIn. Jesus, Jay, I gotta have another fucking cocktail. With Lincoln with Limp Bizkit, which is wild. But Alex from Ashes Like Rain. Shout out Alex. Come back on the show.
Yeah, man.
But
Put out new music.
Wes leaves. They do Results May Vary. Wes comes back. They do the Unquestionable Truth EP1, which is ridiculously heavy and really good. And then they do Gold Cobra. And then they did well, they never officially released Stampede of the Disco Elephants. But I've got a copy of it because it's the single with Ready to Go.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the Thieves cover. And then they did the newest one, which is great.
Wasn't there one that leaked online, or was that just a comp of
Something
stuff?
it was a comp, something Beaver, Smelly
Yeah, yeah,
Beaver,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was a compilation of stuff that I guess was like studio work. So the Stampede of Disco Elephants was the rumored title of the next album, and it never came out, but they've leaked enough singles that somebody made a compilation of it. So it's not even really an album.
They made a comp where you could basically just call it the record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I got another one. This is the end of my list, but I think we're going to be able to wing some of these. So Slayer, your favorite band. Uh,
I
Divine
knew this was
Intervention.
coming.
Divine Intervention. So Slayer has what's it? Rain and Blood. Awesome album. Awesome album. They follow up Rain and Blood with South of Heaven. Slower. Not many people are as big of a fan.
Decent
They
though.
decent, but not as fucking insane as Rain and Blood was. They follow South of Heaven up with Seasons in the Abyss.
Decent.
Seasons in the Abyss works. Last album with Dave Lombardo. A lot of really good songs on that album. Dead Skin Mask, War Ensemble. There's a bunch. A Hollow Point, I think, is on that album. Some really good songs. Dave Lombardo leaves. Paul Bostaff comes in. Bostaff, whatever, however say his name. And then they say, we're turning on the afterburners. All of Divine Intervention is at warp speed. It's the closest they've come to Rain and Blood since. And I think Ditto Head is on that. 613, I think, is on that. I think that's the name of the song. They're
Two one
so,
three.
yeah, 213. They're just flying. They're flying. And it's awesome. It's like, yes, fucking Slayer. One of those stereotypical Slayer fans. And then they say, maybe we should mess with new metal. And Diabolus and Musica comes out.
Mm.
Now,
You're gonna hate me because I love that
here,
record.
let me finish. If you ring fence that album, take it as a standalone. It is not a bad album. There's actually some pretty good tracks on it.
Yep.
However, when you realize it's a Slayer album, and when you realize what came before, and I think what comes after, the one God Hates Us All is right after this, I think.
Yep.
You go, man, they kind of ate the dick on this one.
That was the consensus for a long time.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing, it's taken on its own merits. Not a bad album, good listen, some good tracks. But again, when everybody's experience with Slayer was Hell Awaits and Haunting the Chapel and and Rain and Blood and Seasons in the Abyss, and you're like, yes, they went back to going fast. Yes, must go faster. What is this new metal from Slayer?
Stain of Mine is a fucking banger.
There are some good songs on that album. We did the Big Four go new metal. Not a bad album. We're not going to touch
Have we
Met.
ever deep dived that record? No, we haven't, have
No,
we? We
no, we
should.
covered it on the Big Four of when the Big Four go new metal, which was Saint Anger, Risk. I think it was Volume 8. It was Volume 8. The
Yeah.
Threat is Real, and this. Fabulous.
How much should we go into it though?
Not much. Not much.
We should do that record with somebody who's like a super fan of that.
Yeah, we. You know what? I'll throw it out on Reddit tomorrow and see if we can find somebody.
That works for me because I think that record rules, man. Like,
It's
there's some great tracks on that.
to your point, Tim. Much like Saint Anger, when it came out, people were like, it's kind of terrible. Load, it's kind of terrible. And then hindsight, you go back and you go, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I will say, Saint Anger is the only album that Metallica does not play anything live from.
I don't think Slayer plays anything from Diablos. Do you think?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I don't think they do either. I'm looking through a bunch of like lists of stuff I have here. I'm just like trying to come up with something because like I wish like I said, I just wish I had the fucking time. You know what I'm thinking has put out a cash and then a trash,
Go on.
and I hate to fucking say this is fucking Devin Townsend. Well,
See, he got too weird for me when he stopped doing Strapping Young Lad, and it just yeah.
actually, I don't want to say that because I love Devin. So like, I love that all his most of his stuff. But he got so fucking weird, man. Like he
Um,
got super weird.
here we go. This might be let me look this one up so I say it correctly. Is this a oof, I'm gonna piss some people off here. Is this a cash trash? We're gonna go with Meshuggah. What do you think my cash album is?
Chaos Fear.
No,
Wow.
nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
If nothing is cash, I actually think Catch 33 is trash. Because look, so they went to program drums. It just wasn't the same. And again, you've got Destroy, Erase, Improve,
Yeah.
Chaos Sphere, nothing. I will challenge anyone. Pause this episode when I'm done saying this. Find the original recording of Nothing, not the remaster. Put your volume all the way up and put on Stenga, the first track. Down, 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 down. If that doesn't make you go, holy shit, right? So they do that, which is them with no basis, with 8 strings, just kind of saying, how low can we get this to sound? And then they follow it up with Catch 33, program drums, just they kind of felt, I don't know, a little bit mailed in. But then they follow that up with Obzen,
That's a great one.
which is Electric Red, which is Bleed, which is what are the other great tracks in this album? Combustion, Lethargica, Dancers to a Discordant System was the last song on the album. Yes, right.
Do
So they kind of had a hiccup.
Do you think Bleed is one of the most referenced metal tracks of all
Yes,
time? Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
For the bass drumming alone, because I love watching people cover it when they have the actual charts on the page, like the tablature, when it's left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, right, left,
Oh
left,
yeah.
left,
Dun,
right,
dun,
right,
dun,
left, right,
dun,
right,
dun, dun.
left, like
Yeah.
that. I have a my buddy Rob Monroe. Shout out to Monroe. He's a drummer and he's a big Fish fan, so you can tell what kind of drumming he likes. And I had them listen to this. I'm like, yo, listen to this guy. And he came back and went, what the fuck is this? What is this? And I said, bunch of Swedish guys, all classically trained, making metal for their own sake. And then he's like, oh, Thomas Hake is the guy from the drum kit from Hell Sample Kit.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Bleed is one of those songs that is just referenced by everybody of like Jesus. And then if you look at the rest of their discography, right? Kolos, great. Um, what was the song? The Demon's Name is Surveillance. Is that the one where it's a calf workout? Yeah, track 2. Um, you go back and listen to that, it's like, gee, my lord. And then after that was The Violent Sleep of Reason, which starts out with, was it Clockworks? Was that it?
Ah, I can't remember.
Uh yes, yes. Kolos was after that was The Violent Sleep of Reason, which starts out with Clockworks, which is just probably some of the it's like it's shit gives you a headache trying to figure it out. And then they followed that up with Immutable, the newest one, which is great.
Yeah, it's great.
So I'm gonna say that the trash album was Catch 33.
Not the biggest fan of it.
No, and I will put it this way: out of all the Meshuggah albums, that's the one I never go back and listen to.
Yeah, I rarely ever go back and listen to a lot of that stuff, honestly.
You know what? I do go back and listen to fairly a lot. That one EP they did, which is the one song that was 23 minutes, which is like movements in it. I Jay would pay to see them just do a set of just that song. It's 25 minutes and out. I'd be totally happy with that. I'd be totally happy.
I mean, I don't see that happening, but
No, well, they've said that they've never played it live because they can't really put it together because it's the endurance part of it. I mean, like if you listen to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the opening intro is all double kick runs, and that goes from that to the first 7 minutes is all one P movement, and the second 7 minutes is a different movement, which is more mellow, and then the last 7 minutes is really just this very discordant type of Meshuggah piece. It's up there with Frantic Disembowelment by Cannibal Corpse, where it's like, yeah, we're not going to touch this thing live, so enjoy it on the album because that's about as good as it's going to
Yeah,
get.
you're never hearing it.
No.
How about this one for you? Fallujah, The Flesh Prevails into Undying Light.
Hold on. I gotta look up covers to make sure I'm thinking of the right album. Hold on.
Because I remember you talking about this record and hating it. And I was like, what?
So Dreamless, you're thinking of.
No, The Flesh Prevails.
So after The Flesh Prevails was Dreamless.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What year did that come out?
So Flesh Prevails was 14, Dreamless was 16, Undying Light was 19.
Okay, for Dreamless is not on Apple Music.
What?
Yeah, I don't see it.
So, but I will say this Flesh Prevails was great. I loved Dreamless. I love Dreamless. Undying Light was terrible.
Dreamless is considered a compilation on Apple Music. It is on here.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking, that's weird. All right, so Dreamless into Undying Light. You hated Undying Light.
I would agree with that cash versus trash because I thought Dreamless was great. I loved The Flesh Prevails. That was the first album I came across them where I was like, wow, this is good. Um, Undying Light I thought was bad. But I will say, what was the newest one?
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Was it Empyrean?
Empyrean was after Undying Light,
Oh,
I think.
Xenotaph was the last one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually thought this was really good. Like I like this one. Just came out in June. Yeah.
Maybe people agree with this. Cash is Archetype from Fear Factory, and then Trash is Transgression. That record is fucking awful.
I don't wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Both records without Dino. Archetype is great. I fucking love Archetype. I think that record rules. Transgression, holy shit, that record sucks.
So I'm gonna go back one. I'm gonna say Digimortal is cash and Archetype is trash.
Wow.
Because I love Digimortal. That is them doing the most. They said, "Well, you think we're a new metal album? We're gonna run a new metal album." I think that album is great, and Archetype is just poop. I will
Mm.
say, for me, their return to form for me was Genexus.
Well,
When I listened to Genexus, I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is the Fear Factor I remember." Or was
yeah,
it
that's a great record.
Mechanize? Was it
Mechanize is
Mechanize?
great too.
No, it was definitely Genexus. That came out. Yeah, it came out at the same time as Twitching Tons. I was listening to both at the same time. Yeah, that album was great.
All right,
But yeah,
here's one
dude,
for you.
go on.
God forbid determination into
Yes,
Gone Forever.
yes, yes.
You hate
What?
that
What?
record.
Why would you put it in clean vocals? Doc Coyle, call me. Why? Why?
We should
That
ask
album,
him.
Determination, was so good. It was so aggressive and it was punchy and it wasn't overproduced, so it didn't sound so polished. And it was a fucking, and they were a monster live band. They were a monster live band. And then we added clean vocals.
All right, here we go. Um, Use Your Illusion, 1 and 2,
Okay.
into fucking the spaghetti
Chinese.
incident.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say Chinese democracy. Yeah, that was god awful.
Well, can we consider the spaghetti incident? And is that an actual
Mm,
record?
I think it's an EP, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, Chinese democracy. How many years did we wait for that? And it was absolute garbage.
I don't at this there becomes a certain point, right, where it's almost like Lovers from Deftones or the other All Hope Is Gone album, right, from Slipknot. Don't let it out. Just don't. Like I would love to hear the last stuff they did with Chi Chang, right? Was it is Lovers is the name of the album supposedly, right? Or Eros.
Eros, yeah,
I would
yeah.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where people build up such a they build it up so much in their head about what it's going to sound like and what it's going to be that nothing you release will ever come close to you either what people are expecting and they're going to be disappointed.
I see. I would go to the point with that where it's probably great because there is one song you can hear from it online. It's Lovers was I
I
think
think Lovers
Lovers
is the
was
song.
no Lovers was like a bonus track. I think maybe on the self-titled something. It was something like that. If you Google or if you YouTube Deftones Eros, I think it's called Smile. That track is fucking great. It's like a shitty recording, and it got like leaked somehow. I actually heard the other day that there was another snippet of another song from that record somewhere, but I couldn't find anything.
Eros.
I think it's called
Okay.
Smile. I better know what the fuck it's called.
Shelving Eros. Blah, 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 blah.
It should be called Smile.
Smile. Yes.
Yeah. That song's good. Really good, actually. You can hear like kind of the Saturday Night Wrist in it a little bit.
Mm.
But that's yeah, that's good. I'm trying to see else what else we got here that we could maybe bring up before we get out of here. Let me see. I mean, for me, Lincoln Park would be trash from the first record to the second one. I hate that
See,
record.
I actually think the second one worked. It was the one after that. Minutes to Midnight was it? Was just.
Garbage. Yeah, I mean, it's like really hard. Like I have to sit here and like actually think about this. I mean, you named some really good ones, so yeah, because it's like fuck, I have so much music in here. Ministry, we could probably say put out a cache of trash.
Uh, okay, so call that. Which
Ministry,
ministry would be cash and trash?
you're gonna hate it, but Filth Pig into the one after that is complete garbage.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would
what's
agree.
that one called again?
After Filth Pig was.
I'm one of the few people who thinks Filth Pig is one of their best records.
I actually, I have come to really appreciate it as I've gotten older.
Yeah, really
Here
good
we go.
tracks on that.
Ministry discography. After Filth Pig was, oh my God. Oh my God. Like,
Terrible. What is it?
well, no, I can't even get it's taking me forever. Fucking Google is useless now. It is just useless. After Filth Pig was so I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you. Here's why. Dark Side of the Spoon is after Filth Pig.
Is it?
Yes. You can't tell me that the lead off track on that album, Supermanic Soul, burn up is great. It's great. Bad Blood, Whip and Chain, Eureka Pile. Like, I actually think this album is great. I would actually say the album after this was great. Animosity Insomnia,
Maybe
that
that's what
was
I.
good.
Why? Maybe I'm thinking Dark Side of Spoon was before Filth Pig. That's
What
probably why.
what you're thinking of is where it really tips over is 2004 Houses of the Mole.
Oh God, it's awful.
That's where it really starts to get bad. And then he does, it was the whole George Bush trilogy, Mole, Rio Grande Sucker, Rio Grande Blood, The Last Sucker. And then they did
Ugh.
Relapse, From Beer to Eternity, Americans, Moral Hygiene, Hopium for the Masses. Like, you're not getting better out.
Beer to eternity.
But I will say, the Squirrel Years Revisited
Love it.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, I absolutely love that as well.
I go back and listen to that album all the time.
Let me see. I'm in P right now. No. See if we can get any more here. So we don't have dead air like a bunch of assholes. Speaking of while I'm looking, that new Sang with Sugabog track is ridiculous.
Yo, we could probably just transition into current events. The Sang with Snookerbog is nuts. Did you hear that new Justice for the Dam track?
No.
Really good. Um, God, the new Killing of a Sacred Deer.
I had no clue that was coming out that rips.
The new Higher Power,
I love it.
great.
I listened to that when I was on vacation and I was like, this is so good.
Mirror Cell's new song, shout out to them.
Yeah, it was
That
good.
new Mirror Cell song is great. Who else did one track that I just came across and was like, man, this shit is good. The new fucking Bayway is great.
Oh, yeah.
And now that they're opening for Biohazard and Onyx, yo, that good
Even
for them.
crazier.
Good for them. They are going to be huge.
Does Zayo have any trash to cash or cash to trash?
No, No, I love everything they've done. The only album for them I would say that I really was not a huge fan of. Um, what comes after The Fear is What Keeps Us Here.
Mm,
It's the album they did with Steve Albini, Awake, I think, with a question mark.
it might be. Let's see. Yeah, The Fear is What Keeps Us Here, 2006, Awake 2009.
Awake is I hated that album. It
One
just it
million outstretched arms of nothing.
it did nothing for me. And yet the one after that is the Well-Intentioned Virus, which is where they started making a comeback, and then the Crimson Carter, both of which great albums. Well-Intentioned Virus is great. But yeah, the I love The Funeral's God. I love The Fear is What Keeps Us Here. Awake was just this is not good. It was
They
not
haven't
good.
put out one since 2019.
21. Crimson Carter in
Oh
21.
yeah, 21. Yeah, you're right.
You gotta stop using this third world Apple Music. All right, let's wrap it up here. So, everybody, what are your cash to trash picks? Put it in the comments on YouTube. Email us, newbreedpodcast@gmail.com. Leave us a comment. Newbreed underscore podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. Call and leave us a voicemail, 267-297-4627. We want to hear what your opinions are. Do you agree with us? Do you think we're totally nuts?
Yeah, don't be a
So
pussy. Call up.
we're getting a lot of interaction now on YouTube, which is great. So come find us on YouTube. Apparently, people like to watch us more than they like to listen to us. Fair enough. Put it on in the background. Let us know. But find us. New episodes every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. New
More
reaction
like
vids every
3 p.m. Eastern.
well, give me a break, dude. With all the travel we've got coming up, it's going to be interesting. And then new reaction vids every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Start your lunch break off with Jay and Tim reviewing what's new in the news in heavy and extreme music. Until next week, we're saying cheers.